Hey, we're live. All right. Looks like everything's working, so I guess we'll jump right into it. Get disclaimers out of the way real quick. We got a lot of comments to go through already, or a lot of chat, I should say, to go through already. So, got a little bit of an itch, though, real quick. Oh, my gosh. What's up, Max? Max is coming in here today. Okay, let me get disclaimers out of the way. Get back on track. Okay, so this is a weekly live broadcast pretty much every Thursday evening, 7 o'clock Central. This is where I am. And I do my best to respond to all the chat that comes in during the live broadcast itself. So if you've got a question you haven't been able to get answered, you've got something you want to discuss that we haven't been able to discuss, then jump in here on a Thursday evening, talk about it in the chat, and we'll get it talked about. Pretty much anything's fair game. I don't have topics planned out. We'll talk about whatever you want to, whether it is quail related or rabbit related, or we can talk politics or religion or whatever. The only thing I ask is be polite. Be friendly, be family friendly. Don't start cussing at us. We can have differences of opinions, still be friends. We just, need to get along. I don't have any problems with a good debate, good friendly debate, but there's no reason to drop to like name calling or anything. So don't do that. We'll have to kick you out. But other than that, pretty much all's open. All right, let's jump into it. We got Ed Got Betas here. He says, hey, Chris, I'm sure you had a great time at QuailCon. Hope you got a video this time you can share. Well, I didn't get much. I mean, I was shooting video for Zach, actually, the whole time. So I don't think much video I'm going to be able to share. I'm sure there are some other people that got plenty of video that they could share, but I was working on getting some video together to use for like some promotions for promotional video for QuailCon. But it was a great time. Had a lot of fun. Hey, there's Aaron. Speak of the devil. Well, I wasn't actually speaking of you, but I was thinking about you earlier today. He gave a great, well, I didn't get to see it, but I heard great reviews of his marketing your farm presentation he gave at QuailCon. I kind of hate that I missed that one. I really wanted to see it, but I was busy doing other things, working, I guess, kind of. So, good to see you, Aaron. Thanks for joining. Let's see. You got Verna here. Verna, I didn't get to say goodbye to you whenever you left the other day at QuailCon. I know we talked for a few minutes, and then all of a sudden you just seemed like you were gone. Didn't see you, so miss saying goodbye, but that's okay. At least we got to see each other for a little while. Met your daughter. That was nice. We got Aaron. Oh, here you already said hi to Aaron. David Lister says, hey, I'm Dave, and I raise quail. Yeah, sounds like it too, doesn't it? G. Michael Jr. says it's almost rabbit and quail time. Almost. Yeah, well, I'm here now, so I guess it is. Verna says, anyone still tired from this weekend? I was thinking the same thing, Verna. I was yesterday and the day before, pretty rough, honestly. Monday, we get home at, it was about 6 o'clock Monday evening before we got home, and I was falling asleep on the couch by 8 o'clock. Tuesday, wasn't much better. I got home from work, and I think about 8:30, I was on the couch just nodding off, so I got to go to bed, And then yesterday was a little better, maybe. I think I made it to 8:35 maybe before I started nodding off. I feel a lot better today, though, so I think I'm finally getting caught up. But, yeah, it wore me out for sure. All the driving, it's a 10-hour drive, so it was all day Friday up there, then busy all day Saturday, Sunday with QuailCon. Had a great time. Got to visit with everybody, too, and then drive home Monday. So, it was pretty busy. But that's okay. It's all good. Verna says, anyone sad that we have to wait another year? Indeed. Aaron Guidros says, I'm still tired from this weekend. You were pretty busy this weekend, so I imagine you are. David Lister says, just wait till you get, it says to G. Michael Jr., just wait till you get a little cooler before I reintroduce waiting for it to get a little cooler before you reintroduce the Californians. I'm not sure what that was about, but exactly. But oh well. And Vernon says, but I will say, Aaron, if it was going on again this weekend, me and QuailCon, I would be there again. Yeah, no kidding. You said I was running behind. I was right on time, wasn't I? I don't think I was late. Sorry if I was. Yeah, so Verna moved recently, moved about 2 blocks away. Says it's not really the distance, it's all the belongings. Yeah, that's always the issue. Always the issue. Whenever you move, yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to scan through comments, and I know a lot of this came before I got online, so you guys were talking with each other, and I'm trying to scan through and skip over those things, maybe a little bit slow to get to some of the others. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Now I'm catching up. So Verna's saying, sorry, Chris, I was exhausted. I think that's in response to me saying I didn't get to say goodbye to you. It's okay. I completely understand. It was pretty hectic and pretty busy there towards the end. So it's all good. I just kind of felt bad that I didn't say goodbye to you. You're just kind of gone all of a sudden. Andy Rabbit says, I'm still tired. Yeah, we saw you there too. S.O. Swanson, greeting from Mississippi Delta. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Jacob Wolf says, hey, Chris, I hope all is well. It's been a rough week for me. I just lost a doe last weekend to the record tying heat last Wednesday. She had fans and I was swapping out frozen bottles, but I came home and I think there's more to it from work and she was gone. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's rough. That's terrible to deal with. I don't know where you're located. I've never actually lost a full grown rabbit to the heat. But I don't know where you're located. If it's unusually, hot there or something, usually, the rabbits do okay in the heat. They struggle more in the heat than they do in the cool, of course. But if you can keep them shaded and stuff, I don't run fans or anything. I don't take frozen water balls out. I just make sure they have fresh water and keep them in the shade and they do okay. But, yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. That's unfortunate for sure. Emma Ball is here, says hello to everyone. Hello to you too. Andy Dundas says, hey, everyone from Michigan. Good to see you. Says, let's see, Jacob Wolf says, then I had COVID over the weekend. Oh, no. Hopefully that wasn't too bad. I had COVID when it, first hit, when they were still doing, 10-day quarantines. And it really wasn't that bad for me. I know it affects different people differently, but I never got a respiratory issue with it. I just got I kind of felt run down for about 2 days, and then I lost my sense of smell. Felt fine after that, though. No big deal. And then I got sick, I don't know, it was a couple of months ago. I had a fever, kind of felt run down for about a day or two, ran a fever for about 2 days, so I worked from home, and then I was over it. And I don't know, that could have been another round of COVID because somebody at work just a couple of days after that tested positive for COVID. So who knows? Maybe it was COVID again. But it wasn't that bad when I had it. So hopefully it wasn't that bad when you had it either. But man, you're due for some good luck now. Got Jay here. Jay says, hey, Chris, is it okay to have bucks next to the does with cage layout, or should they not be able to see each other? No, it's perfectly fine. Yeah. Now, you probably don't want them to share the same cage wall. It is possible for them to breed through the cage wall if they're touching. I always keep a little bit of a gap between them. But as far as letting them see each other, it's perfectly fine. You can do that. I did it one time. I used to put I bought a piece of aluminum flashing basically and put it between my buck and my doe. But I've decided it's not really that big a deal. My bucks and does are right next to each other. They can see each other, and I don't have any problems. Homestead Matters says, howdy from Eugene, Oregon. Hope everyone's going well. I think doing well is what it should say. But I did my first solo dispatch of 13 roosters and putting some eggs into lockdown tonight, getting into a system. Wow, that sounds like a lot of work. But yeah, you're right. You get into a system with it and it all works. So hopefully you have some good hatches. Congratulations on your first solo dispatch. I know that's a milestone, and you did well, I guess. I'm assuming you did well anyway. Andy Rabbit says, I can't even stay awake today. I've been napping every time I sit down today. Yeah, my rough days were the last couple of days. Luckily, I had quite a bit to do at work the last couple of days, so it kept me busy, and I didn't have to worry about sitting there and waiting for something to come through and nodding off or anything. Jacob Wolf says, separate if possible. Talking to Jay, says, separate if possible. My buck tries to pee all over my does, or install urine guards. Yeah, that's not bad advice. I don't actually have many of those issues at all. Some bucks are different, and some bucks will do that. You're right. But I don't really have any of those problems. I've got a gap of about that wide between my cages. So maybe a little bit wider, not much, but a little bit of a gap. But if you do feel like, if you're having those kinds of issues and you feel like you need to be able to separate them, like I said, go to the hardware store, pick up a piece of aluminum flashing. It's super cheap. Stick it in between her, wire it to the cage, and there you go. So Jacob, looks like the one you lost was a New Zealand blue. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. That's terrible. And then Emma says, I'm tired too, 1 a.m. in the UK. Well, thanks for staying up late and joining us. I mean, it's only 7 o'clock. We got the Chiefs game starting here in just a few minutes. They're on a rain delay. We got it recording, so I'll get to watch it after I get off the live broadcast. But I'm not a huge football fan. I am a Chiefs fan, though. So, and I've been a Chiefs fan all my life. They're finally a team worth rooting for. Scrap 5000 says, what's up, y'all? Greetings from New York City. Smash the like button. Thank you. Verna says, Jacob, I have a theory that blues don't handle the heat as well as other colors. You may be right. You know, my blue silver fox never really seemed to be any worse off than any of the other rabbits. So I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but it could be. Who knows? Bob Coles here says, hello to everyone. Hello to you too. Let's see. Carrie, my sister, Carrie Quattlebaum, that is my sister, says, greetings from North Carolina. She recently moved and is now living in North Carolina. Thank you for joining us. I haven't actually got to talk to her much. No reason. We've texted a few times, but haven't really got to talk much since you moved. I'll have to give you a call later, and not tonight probably, but sometime, and see how things are going. Verna says, I will tell you a funny story. I'm going to share some of my sister's stories. She messaged me. I sent her a long story. Let me get to the point here. She was saying that her son came home from school that day and said, Dad, like one of the first days of school, says, Dad, all the kids in my class sound like farmers. It's North Carolina. You know, it's a different accent. He's not used to it. Verna says, Chris, when I run out of spoon, I am done. I was out of spoons by 3 p.m. What? I don't know what that means exactly. I don't know. Andy Rabbit says, had a great weekend at QuailCon, though. Yeah, I did too. It was a fun event. Always a fun event. Jacob Wolf says, Chris, I'm in Southeast Ohio, and it was 94 degrees. So, 94, that's hot, but it doesn't sound exceptionally hot to cause them. Unless they're out in full sun or something like that, I don't know why that would cause you to lose a rabbit necessarily. There may have been something else going on too. It could have been the heat. Who knows? But it seems like, with water bottles, ice bottles, and fans and all that kind of stuff going, we get way hotter than that here, and my rabbits have been fine. I haven't had any issues with them. So I don't know. Maybe it was something else, but who knows? Maybe it wasn't. Either way, hopefully it's the only one you lose. You don't lose any more. I'm sorry you have to go through that. Verna says, I lost 2 out of 3 blues this week. Oh, that's terrible. David Lister says, popcorn started about an hour ago on 57 Jumbo. Awesome. I'm saving up some eggs, going to do some incubating. Somebody wanted to see a video on the new incubator, so I'm going to try to get that shot. If I can clean it up in here. It's a mess in my room in here. I got stuff everywhere. Clean it up before I put it on video, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'll just show the mess. Who cares? Ed Selby says, I would love to come, but we were totally hawked up now, selling our pickled eggs, eating eggs at the locals farmer market. Plan it a little bit later in Wyoming. Winter will be here soon. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time following this. I would love to come, but we are totally hawked. Maybe that's backed up now, selling our pickled eggs and eating eggs at the local farmers market. Plan it a little later in Wyoming. Winter will be here soon. Okay. So I don't know if you're talking about you would love to have come to QuailCon. We would love to have you, but I get it. Life gets in the way sometimes. Verna says, Jacob, you should have been at Quail and Homesteading Con. Uh-oh, ads popping up again. You said you lost some of what I was saying due to ads. Well, it probably wasn't important anyway. It's okay, I'm sure. Jacob Wolf says, I'm sorry to hear at Vase Place my first time with blues. They were given to me. I'm going to breed my last blue doe this fall to get replacements. Good luck. I hope that does work out well. I've got, I've still got a silver fox doe and a buck. They're both black, but I know that they have blue genes as in their background. And I'll also get a chocolate, rabbit every once in a while from them. Scrap 5000 says, Chris, I've been swamped with work, so one of my boys was taken over caring for our animals, rabbits, chicken, quail, and chuckers, for an allowance. Best $10 a week I've ever spent, plus all profits. Yeah, $10 a week. That's a good deal for sure. Andy says, if you're raising meat birds, do you need artificial light once they move them from the brooder to the grow out cage? No. The only reason you would need artificial light really is just to promote egg laying whenever the days get shorter. Birds don't lay. They're dependent on like 14 hours a day of light in order to lay. But if you're just raising them for meat, you don't need to provide any artificial light. Let's see where we got here. Roger Dropo, maybe I don't know how to pronounce your last name exactly. Maybe I got it right. It says, hey, Chris from Davenport, Iowa. I started with 4 quail and now have over 30. Can I keep males only together in one cage? You can. Yeah, you can do that if you want to. You may end up with some, I mean, they're going to be very vocal. They're going to start screaming at each other. But if you're just raising them up for meat anyway, I mean, you're just going to have some noise for the last like week and a half, 2 weeks before you process them. But yeah, you can absolutely keep them together. It'll be fine. George Kaiser says, hello, everyone. Hello to you too. Lenora is here, says, hey, Chris and everyone. Hello to you. And Jacob says, Chris, since you're a Chiefs fan, does that mean you're a Taylor Swift fan? LOL, Taylor. Total Swiftie, right? No, I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan. No, in fact, I'm not at all a Taylor Swift fan. I mean, I don't dislike her necessarily. It's just not my style of music. I'm not into it at all. Let's see what else we got here. Verna says, out of spoons means resources to handle things, mostly mentally or emotionally. Oh, okay, I get it. Yeah, I'm a total extrovert. I can hang out with people all day long, but I know that that's not everybody's deal. It wears some people out. I know a lot of people are introverts, and I just can't relate to that. Sometimes I get pretty obnoxious and annoying because I'm not like that. I'm good to go. I can hang out with people all day long and be fine with it. Lenora says, hi, Chris. Thanks for the last video on feeding quail and what to feed them. I'm experienced with quail, but always could use more ideas. Thanks. You're absolutely welcome. That's a video I've actually shot before. And, I always have such a hard time coming up with content. But then I realize, I need to do a better job of just maybe redoing some of the old videos I've done before, because I got new people on this channel, people that haven't seen those old videos and, need that information. Buck Reynolds says, hello, my everyone. Hello, my everyone. Hello to you too. Andy Rabbit says, what buck did you keep, Chris? I kept, I don't remember the ear tag right off the hand. The bigger one, the bigger buck, the older one. I kept him. Emma says, hello, my buck. I knew what you meant, Andy. The silver fox buck. I knew what you meant. I kept the bigger of the two, the older one. Can't remember his ear tag number, I'd tell you, but anyway, that's the one I kept. Hopefully that lets you know which one it is. I've got if you guys don't know, I bought these silver foxes from Andy Rabbit, so I'm all but one. I've got a doe. My doe actually is from Whiskey Tango Farms. I got that at QuailCon, not last year, year before, and they brought it to QuailCon. I took it home. Bought it from them, and then I got the other 2 bucks and the other doe from Andy Rabbit. So Bill Thompson says, I missed QuailCon. Hope you all had a good time. Yeah, it was a good time. It's always a good time at QuailCon. Let's see. Carrie says, my daughter got a pet bunny yesterday, Holland Lop, our first bunny. I saw that. I saw your Facebook post on that. I'm terrible at social media. You know that. I never comment or post anything. I need to do better at that. But but I did see your post, so hopefully she's enjoying that. Hopefully your dog doesn't eat it, or a cat for that matter. How is your cat doing, by the way? I'll call you later. We'll talk about that stuff. Aaron says, Chris, it was a great time hanging out at QuailCon. I'm a total introvert. Yeah, and I know. And I picked on you a little bit about your accent. I got to feeling bad about that later. I thought, I hope I didn't come across as rude. I don't mean anything rude. If anything I ever say comes out as rude, I really don't mean it that way. I just sometimes talk before I think, and I really don't mean anything bad by it. So if I did make some comment about your accent that was rude, don't take it personally. I don't mean anything by it. I actually kind of like your guys' accent. If you guys don't know, Aaron is from Louisiana and sounds very much like Louisiana. And his wife's even more Louisiana. But it's great. I love the accent. I like hearing you guys talk. Scrap 5000. And if you guys don't know, Aaron's got his own, the Guidro's Family Farms got their own YouTube channel. Go check it out. Subscribe to him. I think you guys have got a big egg giveaway, if I saw right. They're doing an egg giveaway. I don't remember all the details to it, but yeah, tell us about it, Aaron, if you want to. Scrap 5000 says, yeah, it's great. I was taking care of the chickens, and Chuckar's moving those over too has been fantastic. Nice. Talking about you're paying the kid to do the work, right? Tony says, I started raising quail from hatching eggs in July with 18, now have 48. First time here. I've learned a lot from you and watch all your videos. Thanks. Well, thank you very much for watching, and congratulations on your success there. Sounds like things are going well. What's my dog doing? Sorry, I caught him in the reflection of the screen, or actually on the screen. I could see him. I didn't know what he was doing. Verna says, welcome to the quail lifestyle, Tony. Yep, no kidding. Hey, there's Caesar. Says, hey, Chris and everyone, hope all is well. All is well for me. Hopefully it's going well for you too. Chester Hickman's here. Says, good evening. Good evening to you. Aaron says, it was fun. Not rude at all. Good. Good. I remember there was one point in particular I said you had too much Louisiana in your voice and I couldn't understand you when we were trying to talk about something. And I thought, I hope that didn't come across as rude or mean. I didn't mean it that way. 340 Quail Farm says, hey, Chris, Tim checking in from Mount Dora, Florida. Nice meeting you at QuailCon 24. Hey, I remember you. Tim, I can't remember your last name, but hopefully things are going well for you. I guess you made it home okay. You came all the way from Florida to QuailCon, and just a great guy. I actually did an interview with you, so hopefully we'll see you on the promo video. Cesar Reyes says, hey, Verna. Okay, we got a couple others going on. Chester Hickman says, can I use chopped straw in nest boxes rather than compressed straw? Yeah, I don't see why not. It should be fine. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't work. Roger says, nailed the last name on the first try. I have 4 Silver Fox 2. I love your content. It's always helpful. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad I got your name right. I don't know that I could do it again, but I'm glad I got it right the first time. Bill Thompson says, one of these times I will make QuailCon. I always camp at a lake in PA that weekend. Well, you need to camp at a lake a different weekend and come hang out with us. You can camp at QuailCon. There's no lake, but there's a lot of cool people there. Aaron says, hey, Tim. Tim had the best shirts at QuailCon. I don't remember his shirt, actually. I mean, I do, but not well enough, I guess. But I'm sure he did. Let's see. White Trim 1 says, hey, and good afternoon from New Mexico. Well, hello to you, and it's evening here, but good afternoon, evening to you, too. So, yeah, those of you guys that didn't make it to QuailCon, we got kind of a lull in comments here, so we can talk about it a little bit. It was a good time. I mean, there's a lot of speakers there. Some really good information shared. Like I heard, like I said, really good things about Aaron, his presentation on marketing your farm. So there was a whole lot of marketing talk there, and I think a lot of people came away with some ideas on how to, market some of their stuff, make some money off of it. What else were the kind of the highlight? I mean, the butchering is always a highlight. There's a lot of people there that have never butchered before, so they get to go through that with somebody experienced, help them kind of, process their first couple of quail. That always goes over really, really well. A couple other things I'm working on. I got a couple of things that I want to work on to try to bring to you guys that I got ideas from QuailCon on, but I'm going to have to flesh those out a little bit before I do. I don't want to, give away anything and then make it uneventful. Bill Thompson says, evening here. Check out the crescent moon and whatever planet that is going down. Whatever planet that is going down. Well, if it's in the, let's see, the crescent moon, I don't know where it is right now. I'm not sure. It's probably pretty high in the sky. The planet going down would be in the west, right? So that would probably be Venus, I would guess. Would be Venus going down below the horizon, but maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not the best at astronomy. Yeah, astronomy. I'm not at all good at astrology. I don't mess with that stuff. But and I suggest you don't either, because I really believe that that is a good way to open yourself up to demons and all that kind of stuff. But I'm a Christian, and that's why. David Lister says, well, guess I'm going out to play. The Dalmatians are demanding my attention. So rude. BCNU. What's BCNU? I don't know what that acronym means, but hey, you go do what you need to do, man. It's all good. Wittram says, no moon yet. We are waiting on the sun to set. The sun is just now setting. Yeah, it's still pretty bright outside. I don't think the sun's set yet. Andy says, my granddaughter watched the Butcher class, and I said, I'll wait, maybe. Oh, and said, I'll wait, maybe till I'm an adult. Yeah, no kidding. Emma says, question, what's your preferred call method? Have you used quail pops? I have not, actually. Oh, BCNU is BCNU. Okay, so, I mean, it varies, honestly, I do it a lot of different ways. I've kind of recently gotten into just like a bloodless call. So basically you just grab the head and kind of pull to basically dislocate the neck, and it's pretty quick. So I'll usually, I mean, sometimes I'll knock them on the head with a screwdriver, kind of stun them, put them out so they don't, feel, hopefully not suffering. And then use a pair of scissors to snip that, their head off. Or just like I said, just pull and kind of break. You got to be careful because you can pop their head right off and then it's a mess. But that's kind of my preferred method. I haven't used any tools like that, quail pop. I mean, I'm sure it works great, but no, I haven't used it. It's pretty easy just to do with your hands, honestly. It's not, like I said, you got to be careful. You actually got to be careful you don't pull too hard. But yeah, it's not terribly difficult to dispatch them that way. I don't know if that answers your question or not, kind of. Hopefully it makes sense. It's one of those things I can't show on YouTube because they frown on you showing actual dispatching of animals. I don't know why. There's so many things that get shown on YouTube that are way more inappropriate for children, but they frown on that. They do not like that. They demonetize you. They, hit you with complaints and that kind of stuff. So it's, so I can't show that part, the actual dispatching part. I do have videos that I've done that before with. They're all marked adult content. You have to be, logged in and be over 18 or whatever to be able to view them. But they're still out there. So, all right. Be seeing you. I didn't know what that was. I'm not hip to the 3-letter acronym. Oh, that's a 4-letter acronym. So don't know. Sorry. All right. What else we got to talk about? You guys are quiet tonight. We got 41 people in here. Nothing coming through on the live chat. So I was thinking today, as Aaron, I should get you at some point, if you're interested. I'm going to put you on the spot right here. If you want to, get you on my channel to interview, to talk about some of your ideas for marketing your farm. I think it's something that I haven't really ever shared. I don't really do a lot of sales or anything like that, so I'm maybe not the best person to ask about that, but you've got quite a bit of experience at it, and we might be able to share that with everybody. If you'd want to do that at some point, I'll hit you up at some point and ask you about that, figure it out. Lenora says, I learned your dispatching method for quail when you showed how to only use the breast meat. Yeah, a lot of times I do that because Inverness says we're all exhausted from QuailCon. That's why we're not talking. That could be part of it. So Lenora, yeah, a lot of times I do most of the time, honestly, I just pop the breast out of them because there's the breast and there's the legs, and the legs are pretty puny. There's not much to them. And whenever I do want, a lot of times I will go ahead and save the legs, but I just save them separately. And my wife kind of likes them, but it's just, it's so much work for so little return to nibble that little piece of meat off the leg. I just focus on the breast and I just pop the breast out. It's quick. It's easy. I can go through a ton of them real quick. It's basically the way dove hunters, clean their dove. It's the same way. So if you have anybody, anybody that hunts dove, they probably do the same thing. When you read BCNU, it says it right. Okay, yeah, you're right. I guess it does. I didn't even pick that up. So Aaron says, I'm definitely interested. Just let me know when. Yeah, absolutely. I got to set up some way where we can get on. I don't have any like StreamYard or anything like that. I'll have to do that. Where we can get on together and do that. I appreciate it. think it'd be a good something good to share with the audience. I think that, you know, like I said, I'm not really the best one for that because I don't really market any of my stuff much. But I know you've got a lot of experience with it. You got some great ideas. Verna says, Lenora, if you have dogs, then save the rest of the bird for dog food. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I told anybody this, yeah, I probably did. But, you know, the rabbits I processed, the ones with the sore hocks, and I said I was going to save it for dog food, and I was going to probably, you know, grind it or cook it up or something like that. You know what? I didn't do that. I just thought I was a little worried about feeding him, you know, a hunk of rabbit with bone in it. And I thought, he's a dog. He'd be fine. So that's what I did. I cut it up in, you know, pieces in sections, cut the legs off, and we froze it. And then I just give him a piece of it completely frozen, right out of the freezer, frozen, back leg, bone in and everything. Takes him about 10 minutes or so to get through it, but he gets through it just fine, no problems. Bill says, I saw Aaron's video of QuailCon. Looked like lots of good speakers. Yeah, I saw part of that today. I didn't go out watch it all because I was getting ready for a live broadcast and when it popped up in the Facebook. But I did watch part of it, and I was actually there when he was filming it. So I saw him filming some of it. Cindy says, glad I caught you live. This year's big seller at the Hobby Farm stand is fresh quail eggs. Thanks for all I've learned from you and your channel. Awesome. I'm glad you're having some success with that. I don't sell a lot of eggs because there's just not a huge market for it here. And it's just not worth it for me to go through a lot of effort to sell, you know, eggs for $5 a dozen if I can get $5 a dozen out of them. But hey, if there's a market for it, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear that it's going well. 340 Quail Farm says, hey, Aaron, nice meeting you and your wife. Your marketing session was awesome. Yeah, I wish I could have seen it. I heard great things about it. Looked like everybody was enjoying it. But I was too busy doing other things. I didn't get to sit through anything. I got to sit through part of most of actually Dale's Quails. Dale's Quails, and Dale from Dale's Quails did a talk on small acreage homesteading. And I got to sit through most of his, and it was pretty good. But that's the only one I got to sit through. The rest of them I was tied up trying to get footage for a video. White Trim 1 says, I also pop my birds into canning jars and enjoy adding them later to other recipes. Yeah, I've never actually canned quail. In fact, I've never actually canned meat now that I think of it. It's a weird thing for me, and I need to get over that. It's just a hang up in my head. I need to get over that. I always freeze meat. I can vegetables and things, but I've never actually canned meat. I don't know why. Canned meat just is weird to me. But like I said, it's all just my hang up. Andy Rabbit says, I got home Monday at 11:57 p.m., woke up at 5:30 a.m., stayed up to get granddaughter to school, repeating every morning so far. Yeah, that's pretty late. We left out early Monday. I think we left there. It was 8 o'clock there, so 7 o'clock our time. And we got home at 6 o'clock Monday night. Verna says, Andy, you left a bag at my house. Oh, no. Scrap 5000 says, no, the legs are so delicious. Since they use those mussels a lot, they have high levels of myoglobin, the protein that makes the meat red. Awesome. Yeah, well, yeah, they're not terrible. I mean, I don't think they're bad necessarily. To me, it's just hardly worth the effort to, you know, eat them. There's just nothing on them. Hey, Jasmine's here. Says Timon Timber Homestead. Good to see you, Jasmine. Thanks for joining us. Jasmine led a couple of things. She did the butchering class, and then she did a class on bees. Andy says, I really like your video on processing quail. Easy peasy. I guess you're talking to me. Good. I'm glad you like it. You should go check out Jasmine's video on processing quail. She processes, I mean, they're the prettiest quail you've ever seen processed. They're just beautiful. But I can't do that. My hands are way too big to stick my hand up inside there and pull things out like she does. Lenora says, the legs are really small, but I use it for soup. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You can definitely do that. Jan Steffi says, Chris, it was great to see you and your wife at QuailCon again this year. Vern, we loved seeing you as well. Joe and Jen Steffi from Indiana. Yeah, I loved seeing you guys. I didn't get a chance to talk to you much, but it's always good to see you guys. Aaron says that we can meet. I thought it was like we can meet. And I'm like, we've already met. What do you mean? But I get what you're saying. You can the meat. And you said quail are super tender canned. Yeah, I need to get over it. I just need to just do it, I guess. Roger says, I have a diabetic dog and I'm trying to get him off of processed food along with the rest of the family. So, yeah, I mean, well, there's a lot of raw feeding options. Now, I will warn you, though, if you go to like feeding your dogs rabbit or something like that, they can't live on just rabbit alone. They do need other things in their diet. So, you can't, I mean, you could supplement for sure and cut back on the amount of processed food, but it's either going to be processed food or something else you're going to have to find to fill those gaps in the nutrition. They can't live on just rabbit alone. Verna says, Lenora, if you use them for soup, you don't have to cut the feet off. Okay. Cindy says, canned venison is awesome. Yeah, like I said, it's my hang up. I don't really do canned meat. I don't know why. Caesar says, I like to make stew with mine, and I use the legs too. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do it. Bill says, I can venison stew meat. I'm sure it would be good if you have enough quail. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't take a whole lot, I wouldn't think, to can, but I've just never done it. Andy says, I stopped by Verna's before I left town, so I got a late start on the road. Yeah, I didn't want to, I mean, it's not one of those things, it's the night before, of course, all the speakers and stuff like that, at the end of QuailCon, we all kind of sit around and chat and talk about how it went and things like that. And it's just a good time, just we all get caught up. We're all friends now. We've been doing this for a couple of years and we only get to see each other once a year. So we don't get to talk much during the day while QuailCon's going on. So we sit around and chat for a while and stuff like that. And I really didn't want to go when I left. I wanted to hang out, spend some more time with everybody, but I knew I had to work Tuesday, so I got to get home and get home at a decent hour on Monday. So we left out early Monday morning. Dane says, question, how long does it usually take a heat sterile buck to become fertile again? It's been in the 80s in Georgia this week for the first time in a while. I'm ready for some baby rabbits. Well, I mean, it depends really, I think, on a lot of different things. And I don't know that I can tell you an exact amount of time that it takes. Not long. I mean, they become sterile or they become fertile again in a pretty short amount. But I mean, how do you know he's sterile? Have you tried breeding and not had any success? I mean, that'd be the only way you'd really know. Just because it's over 80 degrees or over 90 degrees doesn't mean the buck is sterile. It just can happen. It's a possibility that they can go sterile because of the heat, but it's not a guarantee. There's lots of people that breed rabbits all year long and have no problems with them going sterile in the high heat. So don't think just because it was hot out that your buck is sterile. I mean, it's not, sorry, I scrolled and lost my place. It's not a guarantee at all. Lenora says, I thought you throw out the feet. Great idea. Well, I do sometimes. It depends on how big of a hurry I'm in. But no, I mean, sometimes I keep them, but I just keep them separate from everything else. And a lot of times what I'll do with them, because my wife kind of likes them, is I'll sprinkle them with some like Cavenders or something like that and throw them in the air fryer. And then they're like almost like little wings, Time in Timber Homestead says, home canned meat is delish. Venison, beef, turkey, chicken. Yeah, I know. I need to get over it and I need to do it, but I just haven't. Scrap 5000 says, Chris, try sauteing them in a covered pot with some good Italian olive oil, salt, pepper, good Italian grated cheese, and the legs will melt like butter in your mouth. You'll never turn away again. Yeah, that all sounds pretty good to me. Berna says, Lenora, I use the spines and feet for bone broth. Andy says it can take 30 days for a buck. I believe that's probably right. That's not that long, though. I mean, a month. Not that long. Time and Timber says, LOL, thanks, Chris. Yes, my way of processing quail is definitely not the fellas with large hands, LOL. No, I remember the first time I met Jasmine, we did the butchering class together at QuailCon, and it wasn't just me and her. It was me, her, and Brad from Short Pickens Quail. There we go. So we were talking, let's do it. We'll show them 3 different ways to process it. And of course, Jasmine gets up there and she does this, I mean, just beautiful bird when she's done. And then Brad shows them the spatchcock method, you know, where you cut the back out of it and clean it out that way. And then, of course, I just rip the breast out of it and like, there, you do it that way too. But yeah, Jasmine's definitely more of a hit with the ladies. They tend to like her way. The guys too, really, until they realize they have to stick their hand in there and it's not going to work, you know. Aaron says, Jasmine, we need more content from you, ma'am. I keep telling her that. She's got that one video she posted a year and a half ago, and nothing new. Andy Rabbit says, home canned meat is awesome. Yeah, I need to do it. I know. Oh, let's see. Lenora says, Chris, what happened to the snake that was in your quail cage? I don't know, actually. I mean, I took him out of the quail cage, let him go, and fixed the place where he was getting in. Haven't seen him since. Well, no, I did see him one day. I walked out the back door, let the dog out, and he was laying right across the front of the door. And I had to keep the dog from getting him, and he crawled off and went under the porch. But I haven't seen him since then. But I don't mind snakes. Snakes don't bother me a bit. And he was just a black rat snake, so he's non-venomous. He's not a danger to anything unless you're a mouse. And on that note, I don't have a mouse problem. I haven't had a mouse problem for a couple of years. I've got these awesome mouse traps, and I haven't caught a single mouse or seen one in like 3 years. So I don't mind having the snakes around. Rocky says, have you thought about raising goats? I've thought about it, but I'm in town, so it's hard to get away with that. I'm going to have to build some fencing, some good fencing, and that's the only way I could really do it. And then that's likely to draw in animal control. Our ordinance, it's ridiculous. Our ordinance says you need a ½ acre per goat of land in order to raise goats. And I think they're thinking full-size goats, but you know, my neighbor had goats for a while. One of them got out, ate somebody's rose bush, I think. They got a complaint. City came, made her get rid of the goats. So I don't need to draw that attention to myself. If I lived outside of town, I would probably do it. If you want goat information, talk to Jasmine. She knows about goats. Aaron, I think you guys raise goats too, don't you, Aaron? So they can tell you about goats, but it's just something that I really can't do. You know, I probably could, but it'd be real hard to get away with it here. Time and Timber says, it's Jasmine, says, I have my refrigerator full of quail eggs and a little incubator full of guinea eggs from Keith at QuailCon. Yay. I saw your post about that. That's a pretty nice refrigerator you've got going. And, I mean, I know you're hoping for a great hatch rate on your guineas, but be careful what you wish for, man. Those things are super obnoxious. Verna says, we've been telling Jasmine she needs more content on her channel for at least a year. Yep, we have. Everybody does. Bill says, in my humble opinion, Jasmine still has the best video out there on butchering and cleaning quail. Yeah, she does a great job with it. I agree. Verna and Jasmine says for 2 years. Yep. Andy Rabbit says, quail legs make good wings. The feet after a good scrub make good bone broth. Yeah, I bet they do. So Bill wants to know how many eggs you got in your refrigerator. Sundial Fragrances is here. Says, hello, y'all. Good to see you. I laugh because I got to meet you guys in person at QuailCon this year. It was great talking to you. We got to talk quite a bit, actually. And they're from Romania originally. So you guys got pretty thick accents. And I see you're trying to integrate with the Texans there with the y'all. Let's see. David says, I'm back. Be seeing you means BC. Okay, yeah, I figured that out. Other people informed me. I know what it means now. Thanks. Welcome back, by the way. Dane, how are we doing on time here? We got 15 minutes left. Can't be late tonight because the Chiefs are playing. Dane says, yes, I tried pairing multiple bucks with multiple does with 3 to 4 fall-offs throughout the summer and never had any luck, so hopefully the cooler days will help. I'm sure they will. Yeah, if you've done that, you're probably right on track, though, that he probably was sterile because of the heat. So, you know, give him a little while, give him a couple weeks to a month, and he should be fine. Berna says, Dane, if you are born in the heat of summer, they tend to be more heat tolerant. That would make sense, I guess. Lenora says, Chris, I'm a Christian also, but I watch my horoscope every day. Is that not good? Well, it depends. If you put any stock in your horoscope, no, that's not good. I mean, the Bible specifically speaks about don't get involved with any of that. That's like a form of witchcraft, basically. There's nothing to that, and if there is anything, I mean, it's demonic if there is anything to it. So now, if you're just reading it for entertainment purposes, you're not putting any stock into it or whatever. I mean, I don't know that that's necessarily terrible, but if you buy into that at all, just turn your back to it, because it is specifically spoken about that you should not get involved with those kinds of things. Demonic, no matter what you believe, demons are real. They really are out there. And you open yourself up to those whenever you start doing things like, and I know you're not doing this necessarily, but like Ouija boards, any of the new age stuff, crystals and all those kinds of things. It doesn't mean you can't have a crystal and appreciate it for like, oh, that's really cool looking, But if you're putting any kind of stock into it as like healing powers of the crystals and all that, you're opening yourself up for demonic activities and in the extreme situation, demonic possession. So yeah, you should stay away from those things if that's the case. Hopefully I don't want to put anybody down. I'm not trying to be rude or hateful or anything like that. It's just, I care about you guys, and and I believe, I am a Christian. I truly believe, and because of that, I want to share that with you guys so that you're saved too. I don't mean it from a rude standpoint. Scrap 5000 says, anyone do any fishing lately? Went a couple of nights ago. Great porgy, sea robin, and dogfish action here in New York. I don't even know what those are right offhand. Time and Timber says, oh wow, a whole acre per goat. Wow. I think it's a half an acre, actually. Half an acre per goat. But that's ridiculous. They don't need anywhere near that much land. Andy Rabbit says, I think my town says 3 acres for a goat. Yeah, could be. Aaron says, Jasmine's the goat queen. Yeah, Jasmine's got more than 2 goats. How many goats do you have now, Jasmine? You got a lot of them. I know that. And every day she's posting on Facebook like, oh, got another couple of goats. Just keep piling up. Andy Rabbit says, I live in middle of town. Yeah, that's true. You do. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have room for goats at all. I've been there. I know. I do have room. I've got 2 big lots back there that I own. So if I put up the right kind of fencing, I could do it. But I don't want to draw a lot of attention. I don't need to get that. I don't need to get the city to come down and say, you can't have your rabbits or your quail anymore either. Patrick says, hello all. I am late to the party. I hope you had a nice quail con. We did. We've been kind of talking about it off and on tonight. It was great. Verna says, translation, if you don't have a large farm and mega money, then they don't want you to have goats, LOL. Well, our ordinances, the way it works, and this is probably the true with almost all cities, honestly, our ordinances were written a long, 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 long time ago. They're just on the books from forever and a day ago. And I think what they're thinking about is like full-grown goats. And they don't enforce any of those. I'm supposed to have rabbits are supposed to have 30 square feet of cage space per rabbit. It's ridiculous. But it's like free range rabbits or something. But anyway, they don't enforce any of that unless like the neighbors complain. That's what the ordinances are for, is if your neighbors start complaining, you're causing a nuisance, they come and enforce the ordinances and make you get rid of stuff. Andy Rabbit says, even my hubby says Jasmine needs more videos. Jan says, Jasmine, we love you too. Aw. Okay, so Jasmine's got 240 eggs in the incubator right now, the Frigibator, I guess it is. So that was homemade. I think you turned a refrigerator into an incubator, I think is how that worked. So pretty nice. You should do a video on how you did that. Everybody would love to see it. Bill Thompson says, yikes, better have cage space. Yeah, no kidding. Sundial Fragrance says, it was nice talking to you as well, Chris. Yeah, I had a great time. You guys were fun to talk to. Scrap 5000 says, Lenora, that's a version of worshiping false gods. It is. Sundial Fragrances says, the y'all is contagious. Yeah, I lived in Texas for about 8 years. I never quite picked it up. But the things that they say in Time and Timber says, agreed, Chris. I'm not sure what you're agreeing to, but thanks. Yeah, when I lived in Texas, there's two things. The y'all is common, and then fixin' to. They say fixin' to about everything. I'm fixing to do this, fixing to do that. I never picked that up either. Bill Thompson says, I want to hatch more quail, but it's camping season, maybe in a couple of months. Hey, I get it. Life gets in the way. Lenora says, I didn't know that. It was all for fun. I don't do anything extra. Yeah, I mean, if you're not, Aaron says, Bill, I know a guy. Sorry. And if you're not putting any stock into it, if you're just kind of reading it for like entertainment purposes, but at the same time, I just stay away from it completely because I don't know, it just doesn't feel right to me, I guess. So I'm not condemning you. I'm not saying that you're wrong, to even just read it for fun or whatever, but don't put any stock into it, pray about it, see how God leads you to that. Verna says, one thing is, Chris, there are many religions that look at things differently. Well, I know that. Yeah, there are many religions that look at things differently. And, this sounds egotistical, and I don't mean that, but, I believe Christianity is the one true religion. So therefore all the others are false, and it is unique in a lot of ways. And again, I don't mean it from a, I mean, I believe that, if it wasn't for the grace of God, I could be any one of those number of religions. I don't think I'm any better than anybody else. It's not like I have some kind of magic thing. I figured it all out. I'm just kind of lucky, really. So it's not, I don't mean to demean anybody whenever they're, if I talk about the religion being false or something like that. I don't think less of you as a person because of that. I just share because I want you to be saved. I want everybody to be saved. Homesteading Matters says, my husband is afraid he's coming back to a goat one day. That's been an exercise in restraint. I get it. Yeah, I'm sure my wife kind of wonders about how, what I'm going to bring home next too. So Jasmine says 40-ish goats right now. 40-ish. You don't even know exactly how many. 40-ish goats, huh? Berta says, going to have some FD bean soup for supper tonight. I don't know. What does FD stand for? What is F? I don't know what that means. I don't know. Andy says, I don't have room for a goat, not even a mini goat. No, you don't, do you? David says, we're not raising either goats or pigs. We don't like their vocabulary. I don't mind goats. I kind of like goats. Pigs would be I cannot do pigs. There's no way. People would tolerate my goats. They would think they're cute. They'd want to come over and pet them. Pigs, there's no way that my neighbors would tolerate pigs. That just couldn't happen. I got a notification on my phone of some kind. I don't know what it is. Okay. Nothing for me to worry about. Where we at here? We got 7 minutes left. Lenora says, I would never follow strange things. Thanks, Scrap. I don't know what that was a response to exactly, but Mr. Mata says, I'm in California. Temperatures are 115, going to last for the next few days. Lost 4 birds today. Any suggestions? Oh, that's terrible. I mean, we get up that hot and I don't lose any birds, but that's not to say that's not the issue. I mean, if you don't already, get them in some shade and make sure it's, put them under a tree or something like that to get the shade. Make sure they have plenty of water. That's the best things you can do for them. I mean, it's frustrating to lose birds like that, but at the same time, you may be kind of thinning out the weaker genetics and strengthening your overall covey, strengthening your genetics. For the birds that do survive are going to be a little bit more heat tolerant, hopefully produce more heat tolerant birds. So, it may be kind of a blessing in disguise in the end too. Let's see. Andy Rabbit says, I say y'all don't even know where I pick it up from. Oh, you say y'all, but you don't know where you pick it up from. Yeah. So Time and Timber says y'all and Fixin' To are both super fun and catchy. I guess. I never picked up either one of them, really. Oh, FD equals freeze-dried. Oh, okay. I should have known that, shouldn't I? Where are we at here? Andy Rabbit says, Are we on time? 5 minutes left. Okay. Andy Rabbit says, my hubby was surprised I didn't bring animals or eggs home this year. He wasn't home when I pulled cages out of the van. Andy says, we need more likes. Do we? Yeah, we got 26 likes. We got 43 people here. Tara Well says, John 14:6 says, Jesus saith unto him, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father but by me. Amen to that. Time and Timber says, I'm so ready to start breeding my rabbits again. Yeah, I'm ready to start breeding again too, and especially my new Tamucks, but they're a couple of months away from being able to breed yet. Jim Mike says 24 likes. Hey, we're up to 30 likes now. All of a sudden, just boom, just like that. So it worked. Thank you guys for the likes. I appreciate that. All right. So you guys should go check out some, if you're not already, make sure you're checking out some of the other people's videos of people that were at QuailCon. We have Katrina from Sow and Tear. We had Aaron Guidros from Guidros Family Farm. Who am I missing? Who else has got a channel out there? Jasmine, of course, but she doesn't post anything, so don't bother. No, go check out her quail processing video. It is pretty impressive, but that's all she posts. So anyway, who else did I miss? Who else has got channels that I forgot to mention? Time and Timber says, hoping my does aren't over-conditioned. LOL, they love to eat. Yeah, I get that. Well, that's your fault. I mean, you're feeding them too much, right? But Lenora says, great video stream, Chris. Thanks for all your advice. You are absolutely welcome. Oh, Verna. Duh. Verna, of course. Verna's got her channel too. Base Place. Duh. I forgot completely about that. I don't know how I forgot that. Yeah, Verna has a channel. I've been on it before. She's had me on her live before. I don't know if I'm missing anybody else, but go check out all those guys because they put out some good content. Andy says, I need to try to get a new doe from you this year, Chris. Oh, from me? You want a doe from the Silver Foxes? Yeah, well, whenever I breed them, I'll let you know. But you're going to have to drive over here and get it. I'm not making that drive again, unfortunately. No offense, but that's a long way. See, Aaron says, Vase Place is the best one to drink coffee on Saturday mornings. I don't drink coffee, but I'm sure it's great for that. Scrap 5000 says, I got a video of a boar shoot. David Lister says, Zach has a few videos. Well, Zach, of course. I guess I thought everybody knew that already, I suppose. But you're right. Zach, My Shire Farm. And Andy says, yeah, it's a long drive. Yep. It's very long. Buck says, fat rabbits won't breed. Yeah, if they're too overweight, you're right. They won't breed. You may have to put them on a diet now, Jasmine, to get them in shape. Outside Dog says, I copied a version of your quail cage and blended the wire side with a rollout. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Jasmine says, glad I could catch you live again. Going to be more active on YouTube again. Yeah, I'm working on it too. I've kind of cut back on videos and I need to get better at posting more stuff and trying to find, I got some ideas this weekend about stuff we can post. So hopefully I'll get to it pretty quick. Andy says, I've got a cool video of a rabbit having a litter of babies. I didn't know that. I have to check that out too. All right, guys, I got to wrap this one up. Looks like it's, just right at time, and I got a game I got to go watch. Probably going to stay up too late and be tired all day tomorrow because of it. But hey, it's the first one of the season. You got to do it, right? So thank you guys all for hanging out with me for a little while tonight. I appreciate that. We should be back next Thursday. I don't see any reason why I won't be on the live next Thursday. And I'll try to get a video out for you guys this weekend. So as always, you know, I don't really do much good at responding to comments anymore. I just can't keep up with them. But I do see the comments. So if there's something you want to see me shoot video on, addressing a video, leaving a comment on a video, I'll see it, and there's a good chance I'll shoot video on it. So, all right. Thanks again for joining. We'll see you guys next week, and as always, God bless.